I was actually his first podcast like that.
You're my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I've never
no
been
shit.
on. Yeah,
Really?
I don't even know if anyone's ever asked. That's why I instantly was like, sure.
Well, you in good hands. I actually just did my first one 2 weeks ago, I think.
Really?
It was virtual, but it was pretty cool.
Oh, like on like a Zoom kind of thing?
Yeah, it was like a Zoom call. That's exactly what it was, actually. Ian Schroeder, thanks for being here, brother.
Of course. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. We're gonna rock and roll. You're actually, I told you was the first one I've done in North Carolina.
Yeah?
And that's crazy. You was talking about, how far did you say you lived?
Like 40 minutes.
40
it was
minutes.
like 40 minutes. It wasn't bad.
Damn. Yeah, you, heck, we probably know some of the same people.
Probably. Yeah.
If you want to get down to the nitty gritty about it. But, so you, said you're in college, ain't you?
Yeah.
What are you studying?
Construction management, but the problem with that is like I honestly don't know what I'm doing still. I'm like almost 2 years in. I still don't know what I'm totally doing in the old construction management thing. Because I guess it's like the gen eds and stuff like that, but we've just started getting into like the construction courses and stuff like that. But I still don't know what construction management means. So hopefully TikTok continues to work.
Is that what you want to do full time, or do you?
I'd like to keep doing it. Residential stuff like that. That's what my pops does. He's like, he manages lumber. So I was like, sounds like it's in my blood.
My dad, he's done construction basically my whole life. That's what I did till I started doing this.
Really?
Yeah. It's cool. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I've done. It's one of those things that's been around it my whole life too, and it was just like, well, dang, I don't know. I just want to do something different.
Yeah.
This has took off way quicker than I ever thought it would. It's just been.
That's exactly how mine went. The whole reason I'm actually in college is for college fishing. Like,
I heard you did a little bit.
It's literally the only thing I'm in college for. Honestly, if I wouldn't have started fishing, first of all, I'd have a lot of money. I'd have so much more money. I probably wouldn't have gone to college. I probably would have kept just doing social media and working on that. But that's what we got, the college season coming up here in January. So preparing for that again.
Did you grow up doing it? Or is that just something you got into later?
So nobody in my family even cares about fishing. I mean, they only care about it now because I do it.
Yeah.
But I started when I was probably 8th grade. During COVID, there's a pond in the bottom of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we went down there and we would fish every single day from like 1 o'clock to sunset. And our neighbor behind the house was the manager of the Bass Pro in the Concord Mills Mall. And he offered me to go fish like a high school tournament. They do high school tournaments in this area because there's 6 lakes around us.
Yeah.
And he was like, they'll just put you on a boat and you're going to get partnered with a random person and you're going to go out and you're going to fish. And, against however many boats there was probably 80 teams in our first ever tournament. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I've been fishing the same pond for 2 years at that point. This was probably 2022 when I started fishing my first ever tournaments. And I think we got like 15th place or something like that out of 80 teams. And that partner that they partnered me with has been my partner all the way to college. So now I'm going into year 2 and he's still my fishing partner. So he followed me, or we followed each other all the way to college. So.
Cool. Well, just so y'all know, this almost happened on a boat when we first started talking about doing it.
It was supposed to be on the boat, and we couldn't make it happen.
Well, it could have happened if I could figured out a good way for us to set up. That's a lot of money to go down the bottom of the lake. If we hit a big wave or something. That's the only reason I said no, because I love to fish.
It would have been so fun. I was out from 7 a.m. yesterday to probably 5:30. I'll be out from 6 a.m. to 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and same thing the next day.
What's the farthest you fished away from the house for a tournament?
Okeechobee, Florida.
Really?
Was last year. It's actually where we qualified for the national championship. We'll be going back there again this year in January. It's the coolest lake I've ever been to in my entire life. It's like the biggest lake you'll ever go to. It's a giant circle, and it's you can be on one side and you can't see the other. Yeah, so you can be on one side of the lake and you cannot see the other side. It's like an ocean all the way across, and it's covered in weeds, And it's like Jurassic Park when you're out there. But the problem with that lake is it's 2 foot deep, like everywhere. Like the whole, like the deepest it is 12 foot somewhere. So it's pretty sketchy to run through, but there's giants, just absolute giants. I caught a 6.5 on the last day, and that's what qualified us for the national championship. We got to bring that bag in. And it was actually the week that it had snowed in Florida, or the week before it had snowed.
I remember that.
So the fish were just like totally shut off. And somehow me and my partner Matt in a 16-foot bass boat. Everybody else was running $100,000 just beautiful bass boats that their dads bought them. And I worked my ass off for a $5,000 16-foot 1999 2000 champion boat with a 90 horse, and we beat, I don't know, 100 something of, actually there were 225 guys in the tournament or something like that, like insane amount of people, and we beat just about every one of them, and we got like 18th or something. In that little tiny boat, we could only go 40 mile an hour. They could all go 75, 80. So
my dad used to fish tournaments a little bit at High Rock up the road a little ways.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he did that for a long time. He sold his bass boat in like 2008 or something. But so what all goes into, he used to pre-fish a lot. Yeah. So what all goes into pre-fishing one of these tournaments to start?
So I'm captaining high school kids next weekend. So I'm out there pre-fishing Lake Norman for them right now. So basically you go out there and you're just kind of, with bass fishing, you always fish the season. Yeah. You know, you really shouldn't ever fish like history, like stuff that you caught fish on before, because it changes all the time. You know, some stuff's like the honey hole, there'll always be there. But, you know, we're going out there and we just kind of look for the stuff that they should be on. You know, they should get on this kind of thing. And then we just find those areas in pre-fishing. And once, you know, pre-fishing typically comes before practice, unless you want to combine them and they're the same thing. But once you get to practice, a lot of guys will go out there and shake fish off. So they'll throw their bait out there and they get bit and they'll shake until it drops it. So that fish stays there to go back and catch the next day, which I think is a myth. Yeah. I think they move no matter what a lot of the time. Yeah. But yeah, basically you're just going out there and finding spots, finding areas, just finding what the fish are doing. That's the benefit to pre-fishing. It's a lot harder to go into a tournament with zero practice unless you know the body of the water. Yeah.
So what's like the longest you've had a chance to pre-fish a spot that you
we get a week for the college tournaments, or 3 or 4 days, 3 days for the college tournaments. But you know, when you know about a tournament a month prior, you know, other than off limits, I mean, I'll go out there 2 or 3 times a week and try and figure something out.
Well, you're in school right now. How do you juggle school with being gone for? Or is it all online, or are you doing something in person? Or?
So with school, I'm all in person, and it makes it really tough. Our school gives us 3 weeks off. Yeah. The entire, or 3 excused weeks. Yeah. Or technically 2, because one of the weeks a lot of times is, or one of the tournaments a lot of times is like closer to the summer, so we'll actually be out of school. Yeah. So we get 2 excused weeks from our teachers, but we don't get excused from the work. Yeah. So like we're still doing, you know, we're out on the road 10.5 hours away somewhere in the middle of Clewiston, Florida, you know, doing physics homework, which was the worst experience of my entire life.
Well, I think I jimmied my way through high school. Yeah. Messed around. Like if I found a way to cheat on something, I did it. And I hated school, and I don't even think I ever took physics. But when you said you were in college doing it, I was like, I know his schedule is.
It was rough. Yeah. Last semester was a lot rougher. It was. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I've pretty much pitted it all in the back of my brain, and I'll never remember any of it. But it was, you know, it was pre-calculus and physics and surveying labs and physics labs. Like it was everything, and that was a really tough schedule to get put on when you're traveling the country at the same time. And then this semester's been easier. I'm really worried next semester is gonna be a lot harder.
So like what like some people don't think about this when you're out there. Same thing with hunting. You're out there all day, and you know when you're not on the phone for some reason, you're out there listening and doing stuff. You get more tired than you do just messing around the house. Mm-hmm. So you're getting done after fishing all day and going back and doing schoolwork. Basically. Yeah. That's crazy.
But see, in the college tournaments, we fish dusk to dawn. Yeah. So we're out there 7 or 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to whenever the sun's down, you know, completely, and we'll come home and do whatever we can. I'm gonna be honest with you, most of the time a lot of schoolwork doesn't get done. Like we try really hard.
Yeah.
But the other thing with juggling practice and a tournament is you got to focus on the tournament too. Like there's a reason you're down there.
Yeah.
So we'll sit on the boats. I mean, we got 8 boats at one house, just all together, and we're all out there tying up. Talking about ideas and what's going on. A lot of people don't, share what they've found. But that's you're competing against each other. You're a team, but you're still fishing against each other. But we try to have fun with it. And as long as we can, like, I try to get my schoolwork done before we go, or whatever I can do to make it a little lighter on me.
Yeah. So like around the house, like what lake do you usually fish at?
So lately it's been Lake Norman.
Really?
So a lot over the summer. We've been out there a ton. Mountain Island Lake is right below Lake Norman, and then Baden Lake. So those 3 lakes I rotate a lot, and then Tillery and High Rock and Wiley and all that stuff in that chain.
So you see all the big money on Lake Norman now.
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. I went smallmouth fishing a couple years ago on Lake Norman. It's been longer than that. It's probably been 4 or 5 now. But I think that was the first time I'd ever seen the water, seen it from the water, other than like just driving by on the road. The houses are crazy.
They're unbelievable. Yeah. I took my girlfriend Kendra to Denny Hamlin's house the other day on the water, and it's just like a tower. I mean, it's the most unbelievable. You run around that lake, and every house is $2-3 million. It's unreal.
And people that don't go there don't get it. I mean, it's basically every house. Like if you like a small house on that lake is still
close to $1 million.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there's not many small ones unless there's some spots there are. But I mean, the closer you get to like Denver, I think it is the more they get. It's
the lower you get on the lake, the richer it is. The higher, like if you get up in the river, there's some places, but it's still crazy. High Rock is the complete opposite. High Rock is High Rock's awesome.
We used to live on High Rock.
Really?
Yeah. We moved when I was 5. But I like it. It's more low key, but it is. They've got some bigger houses on it now, but it is. It's not. It's nowhere near that big. Yeah. Does all y'all fish for in those tournaments? Is it mostly bass, or do y'all do any smallmouth or largemouth?
So smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass.
Really?
And all the species that come in the black bass category, the freshwater stuff. But you can't bring in a catfish. But
have you ever went striper fishing?
Yeah. So a couple months ago, we went up. No, I guess it's almost a year ago now. We went up to a lake called Hyco Lake up near Virginia in North Carolina. We were just bass fishing. Our buddy's got a house on it, and I guess they're hybrid. Yep. So they're white bass and striper hybrids.
Yep.
And dude, those things run like crazy. Like they'll just explode. They're actually running on Norman right now. They're just everywhere. So
we go to Tennessee every year to go striper fishing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I got several pictures. I mean, that big, and I described it to somebody the other day. I was like, it's like they're on Jaws. I mean, they turn the boat and you chase it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I hooked it. Baden's got true stripers. Or the Yadkin chain's got true stripers. They got real long ones. And I guess it was over a year ago now, I put live scope on the boat. It's that. I don't know if you know what that is.
I know exactly what that is.
You need that to compete in bass fishing, but
you can't. I don't think you can compete in it anymore without it because everybody's got it.
Yeah. First, I think it was one of our first days we ever took it out. I saw a dot down there, and I threw my minnow that everybody throws now down on it, and it bit, and it ended up being a striper that was like 10 or 11 pounds, and however long, but I thought it was a bass. So the entire fight, I was like freaking out, but yeah, those things are fun.
Those live scopes, I mean, they've changed. They've changed bass fishing, and it ain't never going back. I don't think. I know some tournaments still don't allow it, but they're done. That's the only way to do it now. And the guy we fish with in Tennessee, we striper fish. He actually just put one on his boat, and it's crazy how much. Like he took the throw net, threw it out, and you could see the net go all the way down.
Ball.
Yeah. How much do you spend on your setup for it?
I have. Good Lord. I've got a 12-inch Garmin. Okay, it's a 126 SV, which is the biggest you can get. Out of the first 3. Oh Lord,
you're good.
Out of the first 3 sizes. I mean, it gets all the way up to 16 to.
Put a little bit more towards you. There you go.
Yeah, it gets all the way up to 18, 20 inch or however big it gets. It gets huge. But I've got a 12-inch and that would cost me, normal people, or I guess a regular person would probably spend $2,600 or something like that. But when I bought the boat that I have now, it came with a 12-inch Lowrance fish finder, some 12-inch live. We sold it for $1,400, and then college anglers get 40% off on Garmin products.
Really?
So we got 40% off plus $1,400 from the graph we sold. So I don't know, somebody do the math. That's what I paid for the 12-inch, and then the Garmin, the transducer was $1,400, I think they are. So, retail value is over $3 or $4 grand, something like that for that same setup, three grand, something like that. Just for someone to have
a chance.
Yeah, just to have a chance.
Yep.
But I mean, the cheapest it gets to have the Garmin's the best out of the three companies that make them.
Yep.
So to have that Garmin, I mean, people would have to, $1,500, probably $1,500, $2 grand for someone to just have a chance to use it for the 9-inch version. But yeah, it's something that's I don't think it'll ever go back. Now these tournaments can ban it.
Yeah.
And stuff. So Bassmaster is doing a half on, half off kind of schedule where they've got, half the year they're not going to have it and half the year they're going to have it. And I think MLF has got the same kind of style. I don't watch the MLF as much as I do. I know the NPFL is a newer league. They've banned it outright. So I just think it's something like, it's just, I don't know. It is what it is now. I was like, you just got to, you either lose it or you either learn how to use it or you're not going to compete.
It's the same with NASCAR now. They're spending so much money on everything. You got to have crazy money to do it and everything else. I think it was Gerald Swindle that was talking about it. He was like, it ain't never going back. He can be mad about it all you want. It's just how it is now. Just to be able to compete.
So, but then there's those things that, kids my age that grew up with it, that's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
They can't fish the bank. So if that deep bite with that live scope ain't happening, which it usually does, but there are times where you go out there and they're just not there and they can't compete with you on the bank. So like having the ability to know both sides of the game is super important too.
I mean, I've never even fished with one. I wouldn't even know how to. I mean, I grew up fishing on the bank. It would be I'm sure what's the adjustment period from going from fishing on the bank and fishing normally to learning how to use one and really?
It's unreal.
Really?
So I work for a fishing company. I work for a company called Biz Baits, and we make fishing lures for it, for bass fishing pretty much.
Yeah.
Only. And, dude, I bought it probably in the spring or summer one year. I didn't catch a fish on it until spring or summer of the next year.
Really?
It's when you first get it, it is mind-boggling to figure. I fished the bank my whole life, from when I started fishing to whenever I bought it. So I had a good feeling, I had a good understanding of bank fishing. So I just kept bank fishing. Like I had the live scope, but like I could never wrap my head around how it worked. How to catch them on it, how to get them to bite. It probably took until this year, like this summer, when I finally I told myself to put down the Wacky Rig Senko, which is something I always throw. It's just a Senko with a freaking hook in the middle of it. Sit down the easy baits, the stuff that you throw on the bank, and just go out there and try and learn all summer long. And that's what I did. I didn't pick up a Wacky Rig the entire summer. I sat out there in 35 foot of water, 20-something foot of water, and you just sit there and you just pan the thing around and you look for schools of fish, and then you throw your bait on.
So it's not as easy as people think. You see a fish, let's get him.
It's finally becoming a more accepted thing that it's not as easy as people say it is. It's finally enough people are starting to say it, but it really is, and it's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
So these fish are getting so used to. I don't know if they can feel it or what. Yesterday alone, I would pan onto a school and they'd scatter. So they can feel that beam or something. They know something. They've got it put on them so many times. They've got the same bait thrown on them so many times. They don't even care anymore. I've talked to people that used the live scope when it first came out, and it was you threw your bait on there and they ate it. That's how it was. And now it's you got to be perfect. You got to be really good at it. we're pretty solid at it to consistently catch enough to like win a tournament or have a good day out there. Like,
well, it sounds like it ain't no different than it is fishing off the bank. You fish the same. Like if you got a piece of game land, the same spot gets fished 100 times. They get used to it. If you catch a fish, you get lucky.
Yeah,
this is
it's
the same deal.
I think it's similar. I still think live scope is a big advantage. I think the difference between a guy with live scope and a guy without live scope is the guy with live scope is going to win.
Yeah.
He can see the fish. He knows they're there. Yesterday, as we were picking at my buddy because he was talking about how he could scan his live scope under the dock and see the fish, but you can. And we were just joking with him, like, obviously there's fish on every dock, but you can scan your live scope under a dock or into brush and stuff like that. And you can see the fish in there. It's like, you know they're in there. That guy that doesn't got live scope, he doesn't know that. So it's different.
What do y'all do for winter fishing? Like, is this like for the season? Is it?
So
I'm sure it's not as prevalent. Is it?
No, so it's actually honestly summer fishing is honestly, in my opinion, summer fishing is when it's like tournaments are a little more dead. Like it just seems like, you got your Thursday nighters and a lot of night tournaments happen in the summer because the water's so hot it's so hard to keep them alive. But in the winter, the fish, they move out deep, they go out into the drains. They run tournament series around here in the winter. So there's no Bassmaster, there's no college tournament. College tournaments run with a spawn. So they start in January in Florida and Alabama, like real, south. And then they slowly make their way up. So this year's schedule is we're in Florida at Okeechobee, and then we're at Santee Cooper in South Carolina, and then we're on the James River in Virginia. So, in the winter, it's like, honestly, I think the summers, in my opinion, for tournament fishing, it's less prevalent. Like a lot of guys like winter fishing a lot.
Do you fish tournaments that aren't for school? Like you just see one that you want to do, you decide you want to go do it?
Yeah, so I'll be out there with one of my coworkers here in November. I don't remember what tournament it is. It's on Wiley. We try and we do club tournaments too. So like our fishing, our team is a club. So we're not an official, like varsity sport at the school. So we have club tournaments. So the club goes out and we'll fish tournaments. I'm in at least one tournament a month throughout the year, pretty much. And I'd like to be in more, but
let's say you build reps and keep getting better at it. So are you on a scholarship or are you paying for it outright?
So because we're not a varsity sport, they can't give out any money or anything like that. I mean, we got
no incentives or nothing.
Dude, last year we got $8,500 from the school, and that helped a ton. It paid for all our housing almost. At least for the first 3 tournaments. Me and Matt and one of our other teams made the national championship, and we had to cover that ourselves. But this year we got $3,500, and we're traveling a little less. We're traveling less, a couple hours less, but it doesn't make up for the housing. So we're looking for sponsors and stuff like that to help us out. But the fishing industry, I think it's struggling. It's a little slower. I don't know totally why that is. It's just people are less willing to give money out. We're also UNC Charlotte. We're not like these big fishing schools. So, we're trying real hard to look around. Southern String Hat Company helps. That's Richie's company. If you know who that is. He, me and them have worked together now for 2 years or so, or a year and a half. And they helped me and Matt out last year. They pretty much paid for our entire college series. It was
really
it was a real blessing from them. We're working on hopefully doing that again this year. Anything helps from anybody, to be honest.
Did you fish in the Southern String Invitational that
I
Richie
did.
put on?
Yeah, I was one of the teams. Me and G Money, the guy I was telling you about earlier. He makes the fishing videos. We were one of the teams. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you meet him there, or have you met him yet? Really?
Which one, Richie? Or?
Yeah, Richie.
No, I haven't.
Really?
Not in person. No.
My buddy Wesley, he works with him. He met him in South Carolina a while back for the first time. But I didn't know if you met him or not while you was there. I've been trying to get him on. I hadn't.
Really?
I've been DMing the crap out of him. Hadn't heard nothing yet. But I'm sure he's got people.
They're busy.
Throwing shit at
Boys
him all
are
the time.
busy as crap. So like sometimes it's hard just to get a handle on them. They're running around a lot.
They I think the last drop they had, it sold out in like.
Oh yeah, so
nuts.
I have a link in my bio to sell hats, right?
Yeah.
And I used to try and like promote it, 'cause, you get a little kickback off it. So I was like, I'm gonna promote this every month.
Yeah.
Dude, they sell out before I can even sell a hat. They all go to, Richie sells them all out, and I was like, you know what? If someone was to click on that link and buy a hat, they can buy a hat. I was like, I'll leave the link in my bio because I like them.
Man,
they're pretty great guys, dude.
I seen some shit that people were putting on there. Like after the last drop he did, they were talking shit about him all the time because it's funny. It seems like every time somebody starts doing really good, people love them, and then they get to that point and they turn on. They were blowing him up constantly, giving him hell about the hats. They didn't like how they looked. Didn't like this. Didn't like this.
I can't stand that crap. Dude, no, you're never gonna get. It's a monthly random hat subscription. You're never gonna get the perfect hat for you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't wear the flat bill caps. I can't do it, and that's a lot of hats to come. But I'll tell you what, I'll wear them in the videos because I love the guys. I love what they represent. You know, I love what they've done for me. They're awesome to me. So I'm gonna wear the hell out of the hats. And I'm gonna, you know, I don't give a shit what they look like. And I think they've all been pretty darn good. You know, this is my favorite hat he ever gave us. I beat the crap out of it already, and it's only been a month.
It's got some wear on.
Yeah, it's freaking nasty. I wore it. We
them sweat marks.
I can't stand it. We every year we do in the fall we do corn. We fill bags of corn for deer feed. Or deer corn.
I did that
at
too
a local farm in Mount Pleasant. We'll go out there and we fill it for one of his games. God, I forget the farmer's name. I don't know. We go out there and I wore it like 3 or 4 days after I got this hat. And my buddy was like, "Well, you're gonna ruin that pretty hat." And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "No, I'm not." Hour in, it was like sweat all the way through it, and he was like, "You idiot!" I was like, "Shit, I love that hat." So I can't never figure out how to wash them right.
That you sounded just like me. If I get a flat bill hat, the first thing it does is
it curves. See, now I don't need the freaking millennial, cylinder. I just a little that. I don't need the freaking papaw hat.
Well, when it's done like this, it's tight right here, and it's like
I like just a little bit. Just a little bit is fine. You ever seen the rope hats?
Yeah. I got one the company sent me. I got it in there. It's my favorite hat. It's the gray one I always wear. That some bitch is sweated through.
Dude,
here and up top. And it's gray too.
I love a rope hat, but I don't think I can stand the freaking flat. So the majority of the rope hats and the fishing guys wear the shit out of them. They are, damn near dead flat. I mean, they're just like that. And you just look like an idiot. I mean, it like pops out here, and I can't do it. I think I can rock them, but not really. I try not to. I try and curve the bill a little bit, and you just look like a freaking idiot. And I was like,
I can't tell nobody on camera what my dad says about square bill hats, but I'll tell y'all, but it's hilarious. I mean, I've never liked them, and I've never wore them just because I don't care that much for them. So. No, you make a lot of content. That's why how we got together. So how did this start? Where did you start making content?
It's gonna be a long one. So when I was in 5th grade, actually, I'll start a little bit before that. All through elementary school, being younger, it was like that first generation of like the YouTube iPad kids. So we used to sit there and fucking watch content all the time. Like we all had our. I'm only 19. I'm 19
you're only
years
19?
old.
Oh, shit.
So we'd sit there and freaking watch YouTube for hours a day. They couldn't peel. Luckily, we weren't as bad as the iPad kids now. Like they got, we got outside and we played sports and shit. But when we weren't outside, we're sitting there watching videos. So all my life, I'm absorbing, YouTube vloggers and all that crap. And I was like, dang, like nothing more in my life than I want to just be a YouTuber. That's all I wanted all the way up till about 5th grade. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like I wanted to do that, which is half. America's kids' dreams is to be, famous content creator. But my whole life, I was like, I can do it. So, all through elementary school, I've probably got like 6 YouTube channels that I've tried to create when I was younger. Please don't go try and find that. And
they're gonna go dig it up.
Yeah, they're gonna go dig it up. They've dug up all of my stuff and go on my mom's Facebook. But we, 5th grade roll around, and I don't remember what it was. Just popped in my brain one day. I got severe ADHD, so that's probably what happened. I just got a random ADHD spike. But I was like, damn, I want to be an actor. So I went home and I told my mom, I was like, hey, I want to be an actor. And she was like, okay, you do whatever you want. She's like, I was like, I'll support you, but no shot in hell you're going to become an actor. And I walked upstairs, I watched a YouTube video on how to become an actor. I walked downstairs and I told her everything I needed to do. So I was like, I need a resume, I need this and that and bullshit. I was 5th grade. I had no idea what the hell I was talking about. But I ended up doing like theater, like plays. You wouldn't think this from, you look at me now and you're like, no way that kid did that stupid shit. I did. I was like, I was on that stage dancing around, throwing my happy feet around. And I was damn good at it. And I was fucking dancing, I was having a great time. And, I did 2 or 3 plays and shit like that. And at the very last one I did, it was at a studio, an acting studio.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, you're pretty good. Like, you're pretty damn good for never doing any of this your entire life. And this is only your 2nd or 3rd one.
Yeah.
You want to join this thing? It's called like Talent Inc. Some competition in Florida or something. I was like,
yeah,
sure. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know no better. I was in 5th grade. So I'm probably in 6th grade now at this point. So we do the audition for this Talent Inc. crap. I get into the program. We do like 4 months of training or something like that. And then we go down to Florida for this competition. Meanwhile, I still don't know what I'm doing. I've been acting for 4 months now. Yeah. Somehow my ADHD brain convinced my mom to join in on this. So we're spending $3,000 to drive down to Florida when we don't have, there ain't no reason for us to be spending $3,000 to drive down to Florida. My dad's probably back at home like, what the fuck, why am I entertaining this stupid little kid? We get down to Florida, and I'll tell you what, there's 800 people, or insane amounts of people at this resort.
Yeah.
And that's where they're doing the showcase. And they have all at the front of this big like hall. They have a row of tables, and at the front there's a bunch of like NYC like acting executives and agents and all these people, all these important people. And there was a stage in front of them.
Yeah.
So all of us 800 little fuckers went up on that stage and performed whatever the hell we prepared over those last 4 months. And at the end of it, there was an award show. So it was like a week-long showcase, and we did like runway modeling and fucking improv and acting skills and all that crap. And at the end of it, they did an award show. So I was sitting there with my group of, North Carolina acting kids, and we're all sitting there, and they're naming off the awards, and the award for overall child actor comes up. And that means the best child actor out of the thousands or 800 something gazillion people that were in that hall. And I was like, wow, it'd be pretty cool if I won that. 4 months into acting, I won the whole damn thing. So I won that whole big Talent Inc. thing down there or whatever. And they did a callback day where the agents were like, we did like an interview before that award show. We did like an interview with all the agents and executives or whatever the hell was there.
Yeah.
And they gave you the opportunity, they had an opportunity to call you back and have another conversation with you after the award show.
Yeah.
There was like 27, 28 agents there, and I got called back from 27 of them.
So this ain't something you just started on TikTok?
No, this started in 5th grade when I had an ADHD spike in the middle of whoever my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Lyman's 3rd grade class. I had an ADHD spike, and this is what happened. This is what came from it. So this was all a snowball downhill. I don't know how the hell it happened, but it happened. So it tends to be once I put my brain to something, eventually I'll get there. And it's, some form of that. And so I got signed by one of those agencies. It's Evolution Talent in Atlanta. I'm still signed with them. They still give me auditions for shows. Like technically, I'm still an actor, in case you were wondering. And so I did the acting thing for a while. I've been on 2 or 3 commercials, just like simple stuff, like nothing, no movies, no TV. I've got, I was one of the last people cut from Cobra Kai, that karate show.
Really? On Netflix?
Yeah. So I auditioned for Stranger Things. I did all that crap before I started TikTok. Like I was really into it.
Yeah.
And I remember this would have been probably 8th grade. So around 2020 is when I got on TikTok for the first time. And for 2 years, I was just everybody else on TikTok, just scrolling, watching videos, stuff like that. But come my junior year of high school, I remember over that summer, I had told my buddy, I was like, dude, I feel like I could, I've been acting and doing improv for 7 years now. I was like, I feel like I could probably make one of these skits. I don't remember whose skit I probably saw.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody make a skit, and I was like, I could probably do that. It's probably not that hard. And instead of making skits, I made just funny videos, and I had a couple hit like 12,000 views. Yep. And meanwhile, this TikTok account had been active since I think I made it when it was Musical.ly.
Yeah.
It used to be called Musical.ly
Yeah.
forever ago. I made it in 2000, probably when I started acting.
Yeah.
I probably made that Musical.ly account, and I just probably never really posted on it. So that thing had been active for however many years that is, and usually TikTok doesn't boost out old accounts like that.
Yeah.
They usually only boost like the newer, when you first make it, a lot of times they give you a little extra kick. So the fact that I'm able to grow this out of an account that's as old as it is, and it went so long with having like 1,000 followers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I posted just funny stuff. They'd get like 12,000 views, something like that, short form little, jokes.
Yep.
But one day I was like, I've kind of picked up a country accent over my life. I'm from Ohio.
He didn't know I knew that until we started.
From Ohio, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. You probably would never think that. I was like, I've picked up this accent. I was like, I can really exaggerate it. It's like, I'd probably make this funny. I was like, what would be funny? Saw some kid had made like a little skit or something about like country kids or something in classes, or like in a class, like how we act in class. I was like, damn. I was like, I'm gonna freaking use that. I was like, that's a good idea. It's like I should try and make my own little country kid, make my own spin on it. I made country kid in Spanish class, and then I made some, another little video. The country kid in Spanish class didn't get that many views. I think it had like 400 or 500 views. And then I made country kids in the back of your class a couple days later, and it got 1 million views. And then the Spanish one blew up, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I made country kid videos forever. I made those for 2 years, and eventually got to a point where I was like, I'm not getting paid. That was before the creator program. That was when there was like an original payment program, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
You didn't make no money.
Yep.
I was like, I remember, I made like $1,000 in like 3 months.
This might be sidetracked for just a second. Were you old enough to remember Vine when it was a thing? Well, I just saw they were talking about bringing it back. I had it when I was in I might have been in elementary school still, but it was like middle school. It was a buddy of mine had it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if you had it or not.
I had Vine when I was third grade, second or third grade.
Yeah, bringing it back, I couldn't believe it. I knew Elon owned it, but I didn't know. I just figured they wasn't gonna bring it back because it was so.
They never paid their creators. That's why it ended.
Yep.
So all those big guys they were like, I've got a gazillion followers, and I never get paid.
Well, all the Paul brothers went from Vine to YouTube.
Yeah,
that's how all that got.
That was the best way to do it, was go from Vine to YouTube, because a lot of people went from Vine to Musical.ly.
Yep.
And Musical.ly wasn't paying either. Yep. So I don't know why they ever did that, but YouTube was the way to go, and just make those. God, if you remember those early, or those, those 2016 videos on YouTube,
Dancing.
They were
that was on TikTok, but I remember the early ones on YouTube. It looked like they was damn near filmed in black and white. Some of them looked so bad, but you said about them starting to pay you.
No. The video views were, or the getting paid was terrible when I was first, growing, and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep putting so much effort into this. I was like, every day, I'm straining to come up with a video idea. Yep. I'm not making any money out of it other than, attention. And I was like, I don't really care about it as much as I used to. So I just started making videos every 3 or 4 days. And then I get a text I get a follow from a guy named G Money. His real name's Garrett Walters. Sorry if I leaked your name. I think that's a common knowledge. And he was like, hey, man, you must be killing it on TikTok. And I was like, I get 40 million views a month, something like that. And he was like, yeah, you must be making way more than me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I made like $400 in the last couple months. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I made like $400 or so, something like that. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, making videos? And he's like, why aren't you in the creator program? I was like, oh, hell, I joined that creator program. I made $1,000 in 3 months. It was terrible. He's like, you talking about the old one? So have you joined the new one? I was like, no. So he's like, just go join the new one, see how it does. And man, that's all she wrote. Yeah. Been doing really well. Last few months have been, but that's just because, anytime something big happens in the world, a lot of times your views will plummet because they're going to prioritize other stuff. Yep. But, without Garrett, I'd probably not be on TikTok anymore. I'd probably still post every now and again, but probably would have never joined the program. And that's the reason I, got back into making skits every day. It's every single day.
That's going to be my next question. How do you, I've done some skits. You've probably seen a couple of them.
Yeah.
A couple of them done pretty good. I think I've made maybe 50 or something of them. I've done a few. My biggest problem is coming up with them every day and making them good, because if I don't think it's half decent, I ain't going to post it. I've deleted so many of them that I thought horrible.
Yeah.
How do you come up with them every day?
So that comes back to the acting thing. I did for 7 years improv classes.
Yeah.
So I can sit there. I'll show you later. I've got a notes app that's just full of videos. They're all made already. I've used all of them, but I mean, you go forever. So I'll just sit down. A lot of times my parents are probably tired of it. I'll come downstairs. I'm like, can somebody give me a video idea? Like somebody, just anybody. Cause it's, you're 3 years in, you've made a video every single day. It's really hard to keep coming up with them. I mean, I guarantee there's no way possible that I haven't duplicated videos and I just don't realize it. Like I don't even remember it. I know my buddy Brady, he's got like 4-point-something million. He makes skits too. Yeah. And he told me, or he told his followers one time, he was like, dude, I just created a video that I made like a couple months ago. Like I've already done that video, the exact video, word for word. Like I've already done it and I just made it again. Dude, it's hard. It really does get hard, and that's when it's awesome to have, I got a good group of, 5 or 6 friends. I've got a girlfriend. I've got, my family, and they all just pitch in ideas every day. Every day we all sit, dinner table, we'll sit down. I'm like, hey, it's like, I know y'all are talking about your life right now. And I was like, but I've got more important things. It's like, can we come up with a TikTok idea? It's like, please. I was like, I just need something, sometimes I'll just sit there and listen for a word. A word will make me go, and I'll run upstairs. I'll go make a video. Talking to my buddies, my buddy, I'll have to tell you that story. So, do you have a question to ask, or do you want me to tell you the story?
Go on. Okay, go on.
Do you know Ramblin' Ronnie? Have you watched any of those videos of my characters? He comes out. Okay, he's a guy with a stutter. Okay, we called him Ramblin' Ronnie. Yeah. So he talks with a stutter or whatever. I've seen a bunch of I got a bunch of freaking characters in my videos. Yeah. But that's the one that everybody talks about. Everybody wants Ramblin' Ronnie in a video. Well, Ramblin' Ronnie came around because my buddy, my fishing partner, was in an ADHD class in college. He took it because he's got ADHD, but he was like, "This is like a free A. Like, let me just jump in here." It was like, how am I going to fail a class that I already have? Yeah. So. He jumped in there and he said there were a bunch of kids in there. There's a bunch of kids in there. And he said the group that he got sat down with was 2 kids with stutters, and they were trying to talk to each other. And he was like, I don't remember what the kid's name was, but it started with an R. And I was like, fuck yeah. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you just gave me a good character. I have made over $10,000 off Ramblin' Ronnie. We actually passed the kid that Matt was like, dude, that's the kid that was talking with the stutter. He's like, you need to pay him. I was like, damn, I probably do need to go pay that kid.
You said they was going back and forth. There's probably a lot of mums.
Oh yeah, dude. I would have paid just to hear that conversation. He said they were helping each other and stuff. Yeah. But
my favorite is probably the Fat Jerry ones. You were probably the first person I ever saw do the skits. Yeah. Yeah. The first. I don't remember anybody else doing it except you. And that was kind of when I started doing it, because I saw you do it. Yeah. But after that's when I saw some other people do it. I saw Trent Ellis do it, and a couple people's like that. But you're probably, I think the Fat Jerry ones are probably my favorite. Yeah. Because they're always good. Where'd you come up with that one?
I mean, you got to think everybody's got a big boy as a friend. All of us got a big friend, and they're all the same. They are all the same. I swear, all my big friends that I've got, they're all the same freaking dude. Yeah. So I was like, this is relatable. See, the biggest thing with skits is coming up with the relatable thing. What's going to keep this person read that? They're going to read that and they're going to go, damn, like I got a friend that's like that. I got I've been in that situation before. I should watch this for a little while and see if he's got the same idea. And a lot of times, like yesterday's video is freaking stupid. I don't know if you watched that video. It's funny as hell.
Which one?
It's about your skinny friend.
I was gonna be my next question,
because funny as hell.
Well, you mentioned having a big friend. One of my best friends is 6'4", 300 plus, and he swears up and down I eat more than he does. Really? All the time. Like we'll go out to eat or something. He's like, God dang, you ate twice as much as I do. Yeah. And I'll weigh twice as much as you. Yeah. But I seen that one. I was like he's going to kill me if I said it. Well, I'll take that part out. But that's him. Yeah. I was like, yep, that. Like, he always complains about it.
I wish that was a reality. Last night's video, freaking eat so much that your dong grows, but it ain't like that.
No, that ain't true.
Yeah, all these kids in the comments were like, "Yeah, this is totally me." Shut the fuck up, fucking Brendan. You lying sack of shit. That ain't you. You got a 2-inch defender, motherfucker. I was like, "Put your phone down." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Damn Pinocchio dick.
Yeah, I was sick of that shit. I was like, "What are you talking about?" So, yeah, this is definitely me. I was like, "Get out of here."
Damn, what was the ending where it was
freaking
like
Pinocchio wiener?
Stretched across.
Oh yeah,
field goal or something?
Freaking field goal post as a wiener. That video, I don't even know how the hell I came up. I was like what could be funny? So I had seen a video forever ago of a guy that was like, "Oh, you want to see my hog?" And he like dropped a freaking like plushy snake out.
You good?
And it like hit the ground, and I was like, God, I can make like I just imagined the sound, and I was like, that'd be good in the video. I was like, I'm gonna try and use that one day, and that's what happened yesterday. I was like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
No, I watched all the way to the end. It's like, what was it? Stretched the field. What was the length that you said? It was like stretched a
It was like a 40-foot gap.
Yeah, that was the part that was making me laugh, was the 40-foot gap.
Damn, 40-foot gap.
40-foot gap. I was like, what
Dude,
the hell?
That shit's funny.
You're starting. Make your dick grow. What are your goals with that? Are you wanting to? Was it extra money, and that's kind of how you want to keep it, or do you want to segue into something else with it?
In all honesty, TikTok is like my main form of money right now. You know, I work. You know, a lot of other creators, you know, they didn't ever work. You know, they just they did that. The people that were freaking out when TikTok was gonna get banned was, you know, those people don't have jobs and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's, you know, I advocated for them when it was getting banned. I was like, you know, this shit ain't cool. He was like, you know, a lot of us make our money off here. And it's, you know, but yeah, so this is like my main form of money, but I was telling my girlfriend Kendra, I was like, I really want to be something bigger. Like I think, you know, I've got 2.8 million followers.
Just on TikTok.
Just on TikTok. And I was like, and I don't feel like I'm anybody. Like, I don't feel like you know, like there's people out there with 1.4 million and they're running around doing awesome shit with awesome people, like all the famous people. I'm like, I got 2.8 million followers and nobody gives a shit. Yeah. Like, nobody cares that much. I was like, what the hell? Like, I've always thought to myself, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I doing something wrong where I'm not, you know, getting the attention of the right people? Yep. And that's actually what came to the end, why Country Kid came to an end. Like, I don't have the name Country Kid in any video anymore. Yeah. I just do whatever the skit is about. Yeah. And I feel like that was partially because I felt like I was attracting a younger audience. Yeah. Even though the videos were not intended for a younger audience. You know, there's some vulgar language in that bitch. Oh, yeah. So I was like, you know, I was like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I got 2.8 million 14-year-olds and, you know, these old, you know, the people that I'd rather apply to. And not that I don't love all the people that follow me. Yeah. I was like, I totally love all y'all and I appreciate everything. I'm saying, you know, I'm never going to get past TikTok if I don't have people that have some influence following me and stuff like that. And I'd like to grow out. You know, I'd like to go do interview. I'd like to do podcasts somewhere. You know, do podcasts. I'd like to do all that stuff. It's just I don't know how to do it. I guess.
Well, I mean, you talk about getting older. I mean, you ain't 17 no more either. Yeah. I mean, people's goals change. I mean, like there ain't nothing. I mean, I was shocked. Mine was, when I started, I thought mine was going to hit an older audience. I was shocked at the number of like younger people that watched it. That's what surprised me the most. First time I ever got recognized in public was by this 15-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. Like, I was at a concert, went and got me a drink, so I was like, I'm there. I'm like, I got a double Jack and Coke. Like, shit, but yeah, here he comes, 15 years old. He's like, can I get a picture? I was like, the hell? Yeah. I was like, a picture. I was like, oh yeah, shoot. First time I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think nobody knew me. But yeah, he was he had to be, he's real young. He's got to be 15 or around that age. But yeah, I was shocked at the older audience or at the younger audience to watch my stuff. But you said your stuff was kind of catered more toward that in the beginning.
I try, but you know, I can't control. I feel like I tend to be able to make, you know, the older, you know, around my age or older. Yeah. I make them laugh. I hang out with my mom's friends all the time. Yeah. A little embarrassing, but you know,
most of my old friends are older too.
Yeah, so, dude, those are the best people to hang around. Yeah. I love when people come up to me in public. It's
How
awesome.
often does that happen?
So it probably ain't happened in a little while, but over the summer it was insane. Anytime me and Kendra went anywhere, I take my woman everywhere, but we went to Myrtle Beach. We went down to, just one of those Tanger outlet malls, and it was every 3 feet.
Yeah.
And it was like,
There
and
he is.
a lot of times, the other thing about, having a younger audience is like they're too scared to come up and talk. They're like too scared to come up and introduce themselves. So I'll just get like stares everywhere. Yeah. So that happens a lot. But my favorite person that's ever came up to me was my girlfriend plays softball. She plays travel ball right now, and she's trying to get recruited. We were at a softball tournament, and like, I don't think this kid was over 8. He had to have been 8 years old, and he come sprinting out from behind bleachers, and he was like, "Oh my God, that's the country kid. That's the country." Damn near tackles me. He's like, "Can I get a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "Where's your phone?" He's like, "Well, let me go get my mom." I was like, "No." I was like, "Well, don't go get your mom." He's like, "I'm going." So well, I was like, "Please don't go get your mom." So he runs off. He goes, gets his mom, and his mom comes up, and she's taking pictures, and she's like, "Well, who are you?" And I was like, "Please don't watch my videos." I was like, "Your kid should not be watching this." I was like, there ain't no way in hell that this kid, first of all, sorry lady, not to disrespect your parenting, he shouldn't have a phone. I was like, and he shouldn't be able to find my ass. I was like, I'm saying bad words all the time. I was like, he watched a video about me getting a prostate exam, woman, and that's a bad thing.
On top of it.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that he should be watching. But I took a picture with a little kid. It happens a lot. I've taken pictures with a lot of young kids. God, that sounds awful.
No, I mean,
like kids that shouldn't cater to them. But honestly, I can't blame them. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, people don't think about this. I mean, kids today, they're spending more time on their phone than they are on the TV. I mean, they're canceling. TV cables getting canceled all the time. People are canceling their subscriptions, so they're on their phones more and more. Yeah. So they're probably on TikTok more than they are watching cartoons. So no telling.
Which is a damn shame. Yeah. Cartoons are the best thing that ever happened. Yeah. That was my favorite part of being younger.
Boy, they've gotten shitty lately.
I bet you they're terrible. I ain't even tried to tune in.
Every now and then I'll scroll and see something on like TikTok or like a newer stuff. And my sister's a little bit younger than me, so I saw some of the ones she was watching. But some of them I was just sitting there like, this is horrible. I was like, I wouldn't. Maybe it's because I was getting older on top of it too. But I was just sitting there like, what is this? Like this is.
I'll be
horrible.
Damned if you can't go back and watch SpongeBob and still laugh.
Yeah.
If you can't go back and watch them cartoons and still enjoy it.
Hell, my grandpa's 70 years old. He still watches Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry's great. My dad still used to go back and watch freaking SpongeBob with us and all that shit. It was awesome. I love cartoons.
But it's crazy how it's changed that much. How everything's went from TV to YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids will sit there and they just turn on their YouTube channel.
Yeah. Do you remember when there wasn't well, you're 2 years younger. You probably do. But when iPhones still weren't. Like
prevalent,
like Blackberries. And
the Blackberry phone. We used to play Snake on it, and
I didn't even know they had games on it.
Yeah, they had like little games on them.
My dad had a Blackberry for a while, with the keyboard and it had the pencil too. Yeah, he had that for a while. I told somebody put a video on there the other day. It was like, we're the last generation that will remember a time when iPhones weren't prevalent. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember those iPhones that were like, that big, and there was, dude, I remember the first one, barely. I was probably 5 or 6 or however old we were, but I remember the ones the first iPhone I really remember was the ones that were like neon. They had like neon color ones for like, they were supposed to appeal to like younger kids. This is my sister's first ever phone. It's called like an iPhone SE, and it was like
I remember
bright yellow.
Yep.
It was weird.
Heck, I used to have an iPod.
I did too.
Mine was like.
Did you have the little square?
Yep, lime green.
Yep, we had one too, and then I got an iPod. The phone, it was like a damn phone. Yeah. I still don't understand why they ever made that thing. It was literally an iPod, but it was just a little phone, and it had one camera on it, and the only thing it couldn't do was like maybe call people or something like that. Yeah. It was like the only thing it couldn't do. Yeah. So
heck, I don't remember when I got an iPad. I mean, I've had one, my God, since elementary school, since I was 5th grade. But it what was I gonna say? I mean, heck, I mean, you was talking about you grew up outside playing still, even though you had one. That's kind of how I was. I would still play outside, even though I had an iPad and all that. But when I got an Xbox, things changed.
Oh my God! Did you play Fortnite?
No. Well, yes.
Oh, you
yes,
missed
I did.
out.
Yes, I did. I did play it a little bit, but I never played it on the Xbox. I would play it on the mobile app.
Oh, dude,
like middle school.
Lord have mercy on my soul. That was the greatest time of my life. I will mark that down up until something else changes. Maybe when I have a kid or something, it might still rival this time.
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade, and when it first came out, and I got it right away.
Yep.
3 years.
That's about right.
The most joyous time of my entire life.
Mine happened in 8th grade, so that
is unreal.
That clicked me. What I couldn't understand was when they were spending all that money on the skins and shit.
Yeah.
I remember when they started doing that. Back it up just a tick. There you go. Yeah. I just remember them how much money like my friends would tell me they were spending on it. I was like, you have lost your mind. Even then,
you don't want to know how much I spent.
Ballpark number. What
ballpark number? Fortnite skins from the years 2017 to 2021, probably. I'd estimate over $500 at least.
Jesus, I can't say.
I had everyone you could think of.
I can't say but so much because I would spend money on like music, when iTunes back when like
you had to pay for the songs.
A song at a time, or if you had to buy the whole album, like when Spotify still wasn't around. I mean, I wish I could get my money back and my parents' money back for that because I was just spending just golly whomps of money.
Yeah.
As soon as my dad found out first about Spotify before I did. A friend of ours told us. He was like, "Oh hell no!" He got it instantly. He was like, you ain't buying no more of that. You're getting whatever this is, and that's it."
Yeah.
Because like that would be like part of my birthday present. I would get like
iTunes cards.
I would get iTunes gift cards because I love music so much.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Yeah. Like the amount of money I spent. What all else did you was it just on Fortnite or was it a bunch of other stuff?
I played probably 3 or 4 games. Holy shit. Y'all would never expect this. I was a 2K basketball fiend.
Yeah.
I was nasty on the sticks. Okay?
Yeah.
1v1. If we could go back and play 2K19 or 2K20, I would kick all y'all's ass. I was so good. I used to get yelled at by, 40-year-old men on that game, and I'm like screaming. I'm like 13.
Yeah.
I'm young as hell, 13, 14. I'm like screaming at these people. But I used to have like, I don't know if it was, I think it was only in 2K that I had anger issues because one time we lost, me and my buddies would play. One time we lost, I turned around and kicked a hole in my wall. That game, that game put a demon in me. I loved that game though, but I probably spent way too much money on that one too. Both of those, I played like 2 or 3 2Ks, and then it just kind of got not as fun. And then at some point in high school, I just randomly stopped playing video. It was like clicked in my brain. I was like, I don't really care about this anymore. And I started fishing, and I started hunting. And dude, I got to tell you about where I hunt. And I started, doing everything more other thing. I got a girlfriend, started, hanging out with her, and I don't know. Video games just kind of fizzled off.
Some people don't grow out of it. No. They keep doing it, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just one of the, if you ain't out doing drugs, you playing damn video games. So whoopie-doo.
Yeah.
But I was a big wrestling fan as a kid.
Really?
So I played
like WWE?
Yeah. So I played that all the time. But my buddies, I would play that in COD.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But my buddies, they absolutely loved Black Ops 2 is just I think's the best one they ever made. But they absolutely would tear me up because I would play the wrestling game so much, but I would play that with them.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've played it. Last time I played it's when I was sick a couple years ago, and I got bored because I was around the house so much. I started playing it then a little bit, but haven't played it. Gosh, it's been a while. When do you think's the last time you've done it?
Played video games?
Yeah.
I guess it'd probably I'll hop on there from time to time. Like just when my buddies, a lot of my buddies still play.
Yeah.
Now that a lot of my best friends were a year behind me in school. Yeah. So they're all now getting to college.
Yeah.
So they're realizing like, damn, I ain't got time for a video game. So we ain't got on it.
Yeah.
Since summer. But over the summer we were on it I don't know, once a week.
Yeah.
Something like that. We would just get on and play for a little while and then get off. And
Well, you talked about, this goes back to the TikTok stuff. You talked about the kid coming up to you. When was the first time you got recognized?
Probably the county fair.
The county fair.
In my first year ever making TikToks. It was like 3 or 4 months after I started.
Yeah.
You know, just 100,000 followers, 200,000 followers.
Yep.
And I remember kids coming up, you know, like 3 or 4 kids came up to me and I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is awesome. And then I got a phone call. And then after that, it just kept, you know, happening. You know, it's really bad at the mall. Well, I'll never say bad. You know, it's a good thing. I love when people come up to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, it happens a lot at the mall. It happens a lot, you know, like more public places when there's like people walking around. So, especially when there's, you know, high school, college kids.
Yeah.
And dude, the tailgates at high school.
Oh.
Or in college.
Yeah.
The tailgates in college, it happens too. And just in college in general. It doesn't happen as much on campus, but.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty undercover.
There you go.
So it was funny. My first day in reading class, I'm taking a reading class right now, and I sit down, and in one of the assignments I wrote down that I do social media and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like half the class knew who I was. It's like they didn't know at first, and they were like, "Oh shit, like we do know who you are." So I don't know if I'm undercover or something at school, but I seem to slide under the radar.
The first time was so weird. Like I was at that for me at that festival. Like that kid did it. I had like 2 or 3 other people do it. I was just walking through the crowd, going back to get another drink, and these people were like just like that, and we shook hands and all this stuff. They didn't take a picture, but we just talked back and forth for a minute. But the first time was so weird.
Yeah.
And I told a guy about it I had on the podcast. He was just a Southern grandpa. I told we were talking about it. He was like, "Well, you better get ready because it only starts happening more and more."
Yeah. So it's all the time. Really? It happened to me yesterday morning at 5 a.m.
Really?
You know, I'm at the QT half awake, and the cashier was like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably." Like maybe. Like, did you go to my high school? And he was like, "Maybe. Are you on TikTok?" And I was like, "Yep." I was like, "Yep, there I am." And yes, I am. I'm half awake, like I'm trying to get my Red Bull so I can like make it to the lake.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the first part of them. You know, meeting you is what's always interesting. Is like, do I know you from somewhere? And I'm like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know me from TikTok? But I don't want to be like, oh, you know me from TikTok, and then be like, no. But some lady like, see, I think I do sometimes appeal to a older audience. So I was walking into school one time, and like a professor grabbed me.
Yeah.
She's like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" Like a 45-year-old woman just grabbed me. I was like, "I do not know, lady." I was like, "Please let me go." She was like, "Oh my God, I do know who you are." And she like let me go. And I was like, she definitely knew me off TikTok. She was like embarrassed that I'm like a student here. So.
Well, there ain't no telling. I mean, they're on there too. There ain't no telling what all they're scrolling past. It's just, but you talked about segueing into some other stuff. That I was doing a little bit of research on you looking at your YouTube and stuff. Is that something you want to do more and more of, or
I want to start doing videos really bad. I don't know how to do it.
It's tough.
You know, I don't know. My thing is more of like I've got some equipment. You know, I've got like a Sony camera. I've got a DJI camera to film. You know, do I want to do fishing videos? Well, that doesn't apply to my TikTok at all. I've got 2.8 million people that like my comedy.
Yep.
You know, do I want to do videos where I'm, you know, fucking around in a Walmart or something, running around with people? Well, 8 million people do that. You know, a gazillion people do that. And I was like, well, how the hell am I going to be different? I ain't quite landed on it yet.
Yep.
So I'm trying.
The hardest part for me is that right there.
Yeah.
Sideways is so different.
Yeah.
I filmed a couple like stupid like vlog things, just messing around. Holding it like this compared to how you hold it all the time is just like, what the heck?
Yeah,
it's so
wrong.
different. It's like something like, if you got any ideas on what you want to do with it, or just
I made one.
Figuring it out?
I made one and I really enjoyed it. And I just never did come up with another thing, and it was fitting in at Walmart. You know, you go into Walmart, dude. We went to Goodwill and we bought the wackiest shit we could buy to wear into a Walmart. And then we went to Walmart.
Damn shorts up
there.
Yeah,
like booty shorts. I was like, this shit was funny as hell, and it was funny as hell. It was fun. I was like, damn. I could make videos like that, and I was like, but everyone makes those videos, and I was like, I don't really just want to be the same thing as everybody else. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I could do, but.
Heck, I had the idea when I started just for the podcast, and that's how I started on social media, just because I didn't know how to grow a following or anything. I just started posting.
Yeah.
But sometimes I still feel like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on the social media side. But what I was saying with that is like there's people that do their short form is completely different from their YouTube, and they just do all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah.
Is that
see that's something that I probably should try. Just like expand, like don't worry about if they're the same thing. Like they don't have to be. But yeah, there's probably something. I've got like 238 something thousand followers on YouTube or subscribers or whatever it is.
Well, you post all the short form stuff on there.
Yeah, I just shove all my shorts or every day because you get paid on there. And stuff like that. And just a little kick at the end of the month too.
I'm so close to finally getting monetized on there. It's annoying. Yeah, YouTube Shorts are weird. How the algorithm's set up.
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
It's so weird. Like right when I started, I had a couple videos. I had one video get like 100,000.
Yeah.
Had another one get like 50 something. Just kept going and going. Then it stopped. And it went back to like, I had one the other day. It took it forever to get above 5 views.
Really?
It was like, are you kidding me? Like,
dude, I think I shoved all, my best performing videos ever.
Yep.
When I first started posting on there, I just shoved them all up all at one time. 60 videos, like bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
And some of them got 600,000 views. Some of them got 20,000 views. Some of them got 50. It didn't matter. They're all the same. The skit format is all the same thing. That's what I always tell everyone. And that's when I complained to TikTok on their TikTok support. I'm like, don't tell me I'm making different videos. Like, these are the same videos I've always made. It's like something's wrong on y'all's end whenever I complain to them. Usually it works. If you ever get into a situation where you need to complain to TikTok support, just go do it and they fix it.
Yeah.
They don't like when you yell at them. But what were we talking about?
You're good.
I got into my TikTok support talk.
Hell, I had a buddy of mine help me the other day. He was like, "You're not talking to a person. You're talking to a robot."
Yeah.
He was telling me, he was like, "Don't care how mad you are at him.
Yeah.
Talk to him like you're talking to a robot, because that's what it is. He's like, directly tell him, hey, this is screwed up. And fix it like that." And
so I sit on there, and as soon as I get into the chat, so it says like start a chat with us. It's gonna start you out with an AI robot. You just sit there for 5 minutes asking it to give you a real person. And it'll load in. Real person loads in. And then you bitch them. And they're like, dude, it's like, I told this one last week, I was telling him, I was like, you are like totally screwing not just me, but everyone. I was like, and y'all know you're doing it because of, about the new TikTok app and everything going on?
Yeah, when's that?
So
when they starting that? I haven't heard a date.
1 million different dates. But it's something everyone that's going to do TikTok, anybody that's social media, needs to be ready for, because I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, I don't know if I'm still going to get paid. They could add this Oracle, buys this, takes over. If you look up M2 in the App Store right now, TikTok comes up. So they've got it, ready to go whenever they release it. I don't know if it's going to be the same app. I don't know if the programs are going to be the same. TikTok Shop might disappear. All that stuff that people make all this money off may just go in 1 second. And then you got to pray that you've got your ducks in a row and you got money somewhere.
I tell all my friends that do it, I'm like, y'all, if you ain't posting on everything, you need to.
You're wasting your time.
Yes, I mean, it's like Justin was telling me. He was like, why would you have all your eggs in one basket anyway? There's different audiences on all of them. You get to more people.
See, that's what it was at first for me. Is I just posted on TikTok. I was like, whatever. But now I definitely have moved over. Hopefully you can teach me a little Facebook.
I'll do my best. I'm new to it too. There's people that know way more than me. I could see your stuff doing crazy on
that's what I'm saying.
On Facebook, that
seems like a thing that would work.
Facebook and Snapchat. I bet Snapchat. I bet you would be You have to have 50 to get monetized on Snapchat.
50,000 followers or what?
Yeah. But with all the people that know you already, you'd be monetized in a month. Less than that, probably 2 weeks. If you started posting the way you do. Snapchat for me was one of the, other than TikTok, and other than TikTok, it took off the quickest for me.
Really? What do you have on there?
Close to 20.
Okay.
But like I said, I've started with nothing. I'm just building it still. You've been doing it for a little while, but Snapchat, like the first one I ever did that did any good was something about Phil Robertson. It was like the day around that same time is when I started posting on everything. They feel passed. I posted something about him and it like that, and it got like 500 something thousand.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful with them though. They don't. They'll ban your stuff quicker than TikTok will.
Really?
Snapchat will.
With like what, like vulgar language or like
not even so much the language, just like they took one down of mine that was. They said it was political, but it had nothing to do with politics. Like you've seen on the new stuff, on the couple news things I posted, like it, even though politics is a theme, you're not really even talking about it. You're just making fun of it more than anything. You're not even picking a side or anything. But
see, that's what I've lived by with my comedy stuff. And my dad taught me this. My dad's a big comedy guy. Like he loves comedy watching. He was like, the best comedians are able to make fun of everybody and themselves.
Oh yeah,
they can make fun of everybody. So everybody's included. It's not you're not singling out one person. I make videos where I'm making fun of people with a stutter, or I'm making fun of people, but I make fun of everybody. Yeah, I make fun of myself more than I make fun of anybody.
Yep, me too.
So I pick on myself. Like I always pick on myself, and I was like, I never want somebody to feel like they're, the only ones getting made fun of. Yeah, and it's like, dude, I make fun of everyone because everybody's got flaws. Everybody's funny. Everybody's able to be fun.
I've said it since I started. If you do something funny, I don't give a damn who you are. It's fair game. Yeah. And I think when you talk shit about everybody too, I think it's like, hey, everybody kind of comes along. Yeah.
Well, it's all it's included, but like I'm not singling them out, so everybody's included too. Like like everybody gets made fun of. I don't know. That's just how I've always viewed it. I was like, everybody can be made fun of. I was like, I don't think anybody's not fair game. I don't know. If it's funny, it's funny. Is how I've always seen it. And the only people that ever get mad are fat women. Well, they hate it.
Fat women, they get mad at.
They get mad as shit.
They get mad if the wind blows the wrong way.
Dude, I'll tell you what, dude. The comments are unreal. They're like, you're just terrible. You're a terrible person. But I loved when you made fun of the fat guys. But God forbid you made fun of me. I was like, dude.
Did anybody say anything when you undid the belt on that one video? The
no.
Fat friend?
See, that's the first fat girl video I've ever made. Fat women, y'all are fine. Yeah, y'all are great people. But I'll tell you what, they are the most sensitive. That you can make. They'll laugh their ass off if you make fun of anybody else. But as soon as you pick at them, you're the worst. You're terrible. You're like the worst. It drives me insane.
Fat women aren't happy with anybody anyway.
No, hell no. And they're always protecting the snacks. Yep. My dude, them things, that's my favorite thing to watch at the tailgates is when I'll sit there and just, see, I tell Kendra's like, Ian, like, you're not cheating on me there, are you? I'm like, hell no. I was like, never. I was like, never would ever cheat on you. I was like, my favorite part of the tailgate is going and watching people. She's like, what do you mean? I'll sit there and I'll watch a guy go up to a girl, and then big girl come freaking rumbling or blitzing the A gap, come in there and just push him off.
Fat friend running point. That's,
dude.
They wonder why they get made fun of on TikTok.
That's what I'm saying.
I see a meme every day about, it's like, you got the fine looking girl with the with the fat friend. The fat friend comes to play. Yeah. Comes to play fullback on you. Yeah. Block it.
Yeah. Just drives me crazy.
I tell you where all the good restaurants are at. That's for sure, though.
Yeah, you're damn right. They know where all fat women. The Panthers need an offensive lineman.
Damn. I'll tell you one thing too. They can cook. They
can throw down.
How do you think they got so damn big?
The big girls can throw down.
They can cook. I'll tell you.
Big boys can throw down. My buddies, big friends, they throw down too.
I don't care. Man, woman, if you're fat, you know where the food's at. And you know how to get it.
Shit. So they know where it's at.
They know where it's at. So you did the voice a second ago. When did you start doing the voices of the characters?
Dude, 5th grade. That acting, that improv, those improv classes they taught us to do. I could do accents and all that shit. I can't do it on the spot. I can only ever do it on camera. Like I'll have people like, do the Don Quavius voice, which is like the ghetto white kid. And it's like, do the Ramblin' Ronnie voice. And I'm like, I can't do it unless I'm by myself in an enclosed room, where just like I'm talking to the camera or, whatever.
Heck, I still struggle filming stuff if people are in the house. Thankfully, both my parents work.
And thank the Lord my parents don't care, because I never realized it. So my room is right above the garage. Yeah. Where I film everything. My buddy told me, so my boat is in the garage. Yeah. Yeah, my buddy, my partner's sitting on the boat. You know, he's tying up or doing whatever. He's getting his stuff out of the boat after a day of fishing. And I always go up there and make a video right after we get home from fishing because I try and make one every day.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I can hear everything. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I can hear everything you're saying, everything. He's like, dude, out on the road. I was like, what? He's like, out on the road, I was packing my car and I heard you say the word fuck. And I was like, are you kidding me? He was like, yes. He's like, who the hell is fuck ass? And I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you kept talking to someone named fuck ass. I was like, oh yeah, that was my dog's name in the video. He's like, are you fucking? He's like, are you telling me? He was like, are you telling me that? Like, he's like, you know, people can hear you outside the house, right? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I thought it was maybe like soundproof or something. So my poor family has to hear every video I make through and through for 10 minutes as I make it and edit it. And then all the poor people walking their dogs in this neighborhood have to hear me screaming fuck ass throughout the neighborhood every day. So, you know, I apologize to everybody in my neighborhood.
My grandpa used to have a dog named Shit Hook.
Are you kidding me? That's badass.
Shit Hook.
I'm writing that down.
I don't think it. That's copyright. I'm just kidding.
That's mine.
Put it in the video. That's
Shit Hook.
Shit Hook. I don't think that was the dog's real name, but
nickname.
It was his nickname. But the dog would respond to Shit Hook. He would do something stupid. He'd call him Shit Hook. The dog would still come to him. So hunting season's here, and we both like to hunt a little bit. So where all you hunting? You said you hunted in Mount Pleasant.
So I started last year. Well, no. So my best friend for 3 or 4 years now. Yeah. He's hunted his whole life.
Yeah.
And he took me hunting for the very first time three maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so they got stuff in Mount Pleasant, they got stuff in Charlotte.
Yep.
You know, they hunt all over. Yep. I go with them. I've killed a deer with them.
Yep.
You know, each of the last 2 years.
Yep.
And I told him, I was like, man, I really want to do it myself. It's like, I love going with y'all, and I love hunting, you know, sitting in the stand with you guys, and, you know, but y'all do all the work. You guys put the corn out, you guys hang the stands, you do everything. I was like, I don't do anything. I just go and I sit in the stand and I do it. He's like, well, where are you going to hunt? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, downloaded the Onyx Hunt app.
Yep.
Paid the subscription to figure out who owns the land.
Yep.
And I zoom out one zoom on my phone. And in the back of my neighborhood, there's 20 acres that belongs to the neighborhood. And it's pretty much all forest. And I was like,
tempting.
I'm going to go back there. So me and him dragged out 2 bags of corn from the farmer that we had just, you know, we'll bag up 300 or 400 bags for him every time we go out there, and then he lets us take home 4, and then he pays us our money.
Yep.
So we get paid half in corn and half in money, and so we lug it out there, you know, just to like a water line where there's like a creek back in there, and the sewage system runs a water line out behind the houses. So we just stuck a camera up, poured out some corn, went home. Week later, I'd gotten, 10 does, a couple spikes, one like 5-pointer. And I let Kendra name the 5-pointer. She named him Isaac Newton. I have no idea why. She named him Isaac Newton. And she don't know who Isaac Newton is, by the way. Kendra had no idea who that was. She just named him that. She had heard the name before, and she doesn't know who Isaac Newton is. But, you know, not important. But I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, I'm going to hunt it. That was before I'd even gone back into the 20 acres. So we pushed back into the 20 acres, probably about halfway. There was like a little pinch point and a high spot where they were bedding, and I was like, cool. Threw just like an $80 ground blind down.
Yeah.
Threw out some corn, threw up another camera. And then I threw up the corn, threw up the camera, and I was like, you know, I'm going to walk around. I'm going to just walk around and look around. Maybe there's some better stuff.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about it. Maybe there's some scrapes or some rubs and stuff like that. I'm walking around, and I turn a corner, and there's a rub on a tree. There's a scrape. And I was like, fuck, I need to move my thing. And then I turned my head. There's a deer camera, and there's a stand. And I was like, I was like, oh, shit. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm probably 200 yards from this stand. I was like, this guy will probably understand. I was like, hopefully this isn't somebody's land. I go scurrying out of the woods all the way back up to my truck. And when I get to my truck, there's a guy standing there. I was like, well, I'm fucked. He was like, hey, he's like, I live right up the road here. He was like, the lady that you guys have been cutting through her yard. We're cutting through this lady's yard to get to the woods back there. And I was like, we're about to get chewed out. I'm going to get fined. he was like, yeah, she said that y'all been going back there. You know, I'm the other guy. I've been hunting back there for a couple of years. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, all right. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, y'all are good. Good to hunt it. I'll help y'all out if you want any help. I've got a 4-wheeler that I've been driving back in there to pull the deer out and all this stuff. He's like, you know, this was best case scenario.
Yeah, no,
you know,
this
literally,
this is a miracle. Is
you
what
know
I'm
what
hearing.
I mean? Like this,
yeah.
I thought I was gonna get, you know, screwed.
Yeah.
But we end up killing. You know, over 2 months, I had a smaller, like a 3-year-old 8, 2 or 3-year-old 8, just tiny little guy.
Yep.
That 5 Isaac Newton, which I told Kendra I'd kill. I was like, I'm just gonna kill him. He's like 2 years old, but I was like, I ain't got no deer meat.
Yep.
I was like, he's got horrible genetics. I was like, he don't go down.
Well, for you just starting. Too,
Yeah, I was like, might as well kill a little guy. But I had my eyes on the 8, you know, 3-year-old 8-pointer.
Yeah.
He wasn't crazy. He wasn't nothing
Yeah.
miraculous, but he had, you know, we didn't let him go 2 years. He'd have been a 100-inch deer.
Yeah.
But we, maybe a little less, but we had the ground blind out there, and I took my buddy out. And me and him went out, sat in the ground blind. Didn't see shit. Nothing. It's like, fuck. So we left the ground blind. I texted that guy. I was like, hey, would you care if one day if I sat in your stand? Because he actually killed one of the bucks I had got on camera.
Yeah.
At the very start, when I first started, I had got a buck on camera. He killed one for meat earlier in the year. I was like, would you care if I ever sat in your ground or in your tree stand? He's like, yeah, go ahead. He's like, I'm not going to sit in it the rest of the year. He's like, I already killed one. I was like, hell yeah. So I went and sat in the tree stand one of the days, and this was right the day before my math exam, my final exam. And so it would have been beginning of December. I'm sitting in there. I did like all the way till 12 o'clock, you know, daybreak to 12 o'clock. And at this point, I had gotten a bigger 8, like a much taller 8-pointer. I haven't seen him yet this year. I hope he comes back. But he come up on, I had 2 cameras out on the 20 acres at this point, and I was sitting in the guy's stand, and he come up on one camera, and he come up on another camera. And it was like this, and then I was in this stand. I was like, oh, he's coming. I'm about to bust his ass. He come around the corner. I was like, okay, here it goes. And then he spooks and he runs off in the woods. I was like, so I ended up going home empty-handed that day. I don't know if I did something wrong or if he caught my wind or whatever happened. But I assume he probably caught my wind just by the way he just stopped. He blew and he went on. He didn't even blow. He just ran off. And my buddy texts me. You know, I'm heading to my math exam. He's like, hey, I got to school at like 11 o'clock today. Like, would you care if I just go and sit the ground blind? That boy didn't do nothing setting up. He didn't set up the ground blind. He didn't bring out any of the corn. He didn't do anything. But by God, I've sat that ground blind 3 times by then. I ain't seen a deer or nothing. I think I saw a fawn. So I was like, you know what? You're good. Go ahead. Go hunt the ground blind. You ain't going to see anything anyway. And I was like, but you know what? If you do see the 8 or the 5-pointer, which it was like, if you have a perfect shot on that 8-point, which was my target buck, I was like, you can go ahead and bust him.
I can see where this is going.
I was like, I ain't seen that damn thing I ain't seen that thing other than one time I was walking into my stand and the 8-point jumped in front of me. Yeah. I was like, I've sat in that ground blind 3 or 4 times. I've never even seen a deer other than a fawn. I'm sitting in my math class doing my test. I was like, this fucking sucks. I'm totally failing this test. I'm like, terrible. And my watch started going off. And I was like, I kind of like peek at it so they didn't think I was cheating, and I just see Mason. That was my buddy. Yeah. Mason. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, he better not have killed that deer. Like, he killed a deer. And he's like, he better not have killed that one. Put the watch down. I try to start thinking about it, get my test done. I walk out, go out of the class, I pick up my phone, and he was like, just busted the 8-point. I was like, fuck! I was like, are you kidding me? And he was like, just absolutely cracked him. And I was like, are you shitting me? The 8-point and that 5-pointer, I told him to kill the Isaac Newton. I told him to kill the 5-pointer. And he was like, yeah, they were running together, but the 8-pointer gave me a better shot. I was like, no fucking shot. I checked the trail camera. The 5-point was broadside in front of him for 10 minutes. That motherfucker he waited on that 8-point. The 8-point didn't go 30 yards. He was laying on the other side of the trees. We would have dragged it out. I want to kick his ass. I was so pissed.
I'd have never invited him back.
No, yeah, dude. I was so mad. I was like, God. So I busted the 5-point like 2 weeks later, and we went and took him to the deer processor. He's hanging up. His antlers are hanging in a tree right now, getting debugged.
Which one's the one on your wall?
That is my first ever deer. He's tiny.
Yeah.
He's micro. Everybody makes fun of that deer, but that was the first deer.
I'll show you mine in there when we get done.
Heck yeah. Dude, it was, it's like your first deer is like.
If you shoot,
I had the money. I was like, I'm gonna mount this thing.
Yeah. If you shoot a big deer as your first deer, you ain't hunting.
Yeah.
If you most people when they start, like I think you ought to be built up to the bigger one so you appreciate it more. And if you kill a big one right out the gate, it's like, oh, this is easy. No, you didn't sit there and freeze or sweat to death to get it.
My progression was, the worst part about that day that I killed the one that's on the wall is I shot it. There was a spike out there.
Yeah.
He was getting real spooky, and it was early in the day. My buddy was like, hey, I want to just take him, have some meat. And he's like, he's getting spooky. He's going to spook every other deer in the woods. Because every time I go hunt with my buddy, he's hunting a big deer on that, on that property. And I'm just going to kill a decent one. He's like, just bust this deer, and then we'll just go get him later, and that'll be your first buck. Like, okay, fine. It was a spike. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I shoot him, and my buddy walks out. I was shooting buckshot, and he walks out and he goes, well, there's intestine, I think you hit him you gut shot him. I was like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? How the hell do I do that? I'm like, how do I gut shot? I was like, whatever. 15 minutes later, a group of does comes out, and then the one that was on the wall come out, and he goes, well, I think you missed the first one, so you go ahead and bust that one. I was like, okay, bam! Thing ran like 40 yards and dropped. He's like, oh, yeah, congratulations. We went and dragged him out. And he was like, next day, he was like, oh, let's go look for that gut shot deer. Let's just go get him. He was 20 yards from the one that's hanging on the wall. I double lunged both of them perfect.
Nice. How old were you? You said you didn't grow up hunting, right?
Nope. I didn't do anything.
How old were you when you started?
15, probably 16.
Gotcha.
No, 16. Yeah, I was probably 16.
My whole family hunts. I went the first time when I was like 3.
Really?
I got my first one when I was 7 or 8, I think. Mm-hmm. So I've just been going my whole life. It's cool when somebody like didn't grow up with it gets into it.
Yeah. That's how it was with fishing too. Like everything outdoors that I've done, I kind of did it myself. I taught myself just about everything and bought all my boats that I've had so far and bought my crossbows. God, I feel like a wuss for hunting with a crossbow.
But I still do too. I got a compound, but I'll hunt with a crossbow too. I don't care. If you hate on somebody for hunting, you're just a dick.
Yeah, I was about to say
I don't even want to hunt with you if you're going to be that type of person. I don't care if you sit in a truck with a gun. Yeah, I've done that too. Yeah. I did it last year.
Really?
Yeah. It was so cold in Virginia at my grandpa's place. I sat in the bottom with the heat on in the truck with the radio turned on.
Yeah.
And just
sounds freaking magical. Sounds like a great hunt.
It was snowing. Had a little Debbie. Christmas tree cake. It was great.
I was about to say, that sounds like a great hunt.
I almost retired from hunting.
I was about to say.
I spent a week sitting in that truck in the bottom. I was like, I might just retire and just do this full time. I don't care what the gun season's in. This might be what I do from now on. But nah.
The best we have is a space heater. See, it never snows here.
Yeah.
I love to hunt when it snowed here.
Yeah.
Actually, last year, one morning, I woke up and I had to text, 6 a.m., woke up for an 8 a.m., and they get a text from school, and it's like, hey, no school today.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, there wasn't no chance of anything. Like, it must be ice on the roads. Look outside, there was like, half an inch of snow on the ground. I was like, well. So we had the first ever North Carolina surprise snow ever. And I was checking my deer camera, and the deer were moving like crazy. I was like, well, if I'd have known, I'd have gone out there and hunted.
For people that don't know, they'll call school off for a big frost in North Carolina.
Yeah. A light fart dusting of snow. You're out for a week.
Yep, a light fart dusting, and they will call school off. God forbid it sleets.
Yeah.
If it sleets, you might not go to school for a week
we
and a half.
had kids that used to take 5-gallon buckets of water and pour it on the roads at night.
Really?
I don't remember where they were from. I just remember hearing about it. So up here specifically, Mount Pleasant. Okay, so in the schools we went to, they would they'd cancel if one road in the entire county was fucked up.
Yep.
Because that means one bus can't. That's one bus's route.
Yep.
That means the entire. It's dangerous for everyone else.
Yep.
So I know of kids that would go out there and they'd find the roads on that these buses rode through that the water would pool.
Yeah.
And they'd make it icy as hell, and we didn't have to go to school.
I wish somebody around here would. Your Mount Pleasant's like almost 30 minutes from here.
Yeah.
I wish somebody up here would have done that when I was in school. If I'd have thought about it, I would have done it probably. Heck, where I went to school at is damn near within hollering distance right there.
Yeah.
So like you can hear the band on Friday night.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it used to.
That's how mine is. My school in Concord, you can you can hear everything. We're actually right next to the racetrack.
Yeah.
So the racetrack at night is unreal. When they run 4 wide at the drag strip, dude, the whole house shakes.
I'm gonna be there at the end of the month. One of my buddies is racing there. Yep, he does late models. So all our friends are going. And
I'm like 10 minutes from there.
Cool. We're all gonna go camp out and probably drink a few beers and hang out. It's a party after the race. It's cool. Yeah. So we talked about goals and everything. So what? And you mentioned you wanted to branch out of social media and stuff like that and do some bigger stuff. So what all are your goals with that? And like, would you want to do social media full time? You want to do construction full time?
Yeah, I think, dude. In all honesty, I think construction is the backup. And it used to be social media was always going to be just like my fallback or like my side hustle. But like over the last year, I was like, dude, I really think. Like social media has become such it's a career now. Yeah. Like when we both of us were younger, it was viewed as like a hobby. It's a hobby. It's something you do for fun. Like these people started their family vlog channels just to record memories of their children, and now they're multimillionaires. Like dude, like it can be a career. It's
very doable. People don't get it.
People really do not understand that it can be that.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd like to just keep. I told my dad, I was like, I'm in a comfortable spot where I can just keep going with this and see where it leads me.
Yep.
It's like, I think it'll, I've been doing it for 3 years, and every year is different, new opportunities and stuff, and they kind of just fall into your lap with social media a lot of the time.
And people don't get it too. I tell them about how quick things can happen. Mm-hmm. Just for me, I started in February with 0 fresh accounts, and, now I've got episode 14 of the podcast and had some crazy guests on that I never thought I could have on, and just got to go to Texas for the first time, and just the opportunities that it presents. People don't. I try to explain to them how quick some things can happen. Yeah. It's crazy how quick it can happen.
It's like I was saying earlier. It was like I went from 3,000 followers to one video getting 1 million views, and then a month later I had 100,000 followers. Yep. Then a year later I had 1 million and all that. It's like that.
And a friend of mine, Wesley, told me, he was like, you never know who's watching your stuff either.
Yeah.
Which is even crazier. You never know who's going to see it. Yeah. So what about your fishing goals? Is fishing tournaments? So is that going to be a...
See, this is what's hard for me is like, fishing's like my passion. Like I love it. Most people view it as a hobby, but like for me, it's like, it's all I think about a lot of the time. I'll just be sitting there like, what can I do? Yep. Before these tournaments, I'm sitting there map study. It's called map study. You sit there and you look at the topographic map of the lake and you figure out where they're going to sit. Yep. What looks most high percentage and stuff like that. And like I just think like it's damn near impossible to be a pro bass fisherman.
Yep.
It is very hard. But I'd love nothing more than to compete really, really well in these like college tournaments. Yep. Like the last thing I want to be is the bottom of the barrel of these college tournaments. Yep. Like I want to be up there. I don't see myself pushing any farther, like going to the opens and all this invitational crap and all,
Bassmaster.
Like Bassmaster. Like I don't, MLF and MPFL. I don't think I'd ever see myself doing that unless I became Kevin Van Dam. But, like I'd like to just, like compete. That's my biggest thing. I played baseball my entire life, all the way up until the end of high school. And that was, I lost baseball when I graduated, high school. Yeah. Because, I wasn't going to play college ball. Look at me, I'm 6 foot and freaking 140 pounds. I ain't big enough to go play college baseball. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I gotta take fishing more serious because I need something competitive. Like I need it. If I ain't got nothing, I've been trying to pick up golf. I'm ass.
Golf's ass. Golf is hard.
Golf is hard.
I play I haven't played as much this year. The last 2 years I played quite a bit.
They don't tell you in the program how hard golf is. Mm-hmm. I've swung a bat my entire life. You'd think I'd be able to change the angle just a little bit to hit a golf ball. No, I cannot. I'm horrible.
I've had pros at the people that like teach golf lessons at golf courses and stuff. They're like, if you came from a baseball background, he's like, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Just whatever that does, because you did it your whole life. You're just so used to hitting like this instead of...
Dude, I slice it every time.
Yep.
It's very frustrating.
Well, I played there for a little bit 2 years ago. I was playing twice a week. Really? Still struggled to break 100. I don't think I ever did.
I can't break 100.
I don't think I ever even did.
I think I break like 180. if I'm lucky.
That's about where I'm at too.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming in today.
This
was neat. I was telling I think I told my mom we were talking about is everybody was going to leave the house for today.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you're the closest that lives to me.
Yeah.
First off, from where I live, but you're also the youngest that I know too.
Oh yeah.
Like my buddy Wesley, he's 24 and I'm 21. You're the youngest one that I know that does it and has been successful at it, which is cool.
Yeah. Especially I don't know anybody else that's as young as I am that's done it as long as I am. I'm sure there's a couple one hit, a couple good videos, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's great. Crazy what can happen. Where can everybody find you at?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you just look up Ian Schroeder on just about anything other than Facebook, which we're about to go work on and figure out after this.
I'm gonna get him on Facebook here when this is over.
You can find me, Ian Schroeder Skits, Country Kid, any of those. I got a lot of underscores in my names because people steal the words Ian Schroeder from me.
Yep.
So if you just look up Ian Schroeder, skits, something like that, you'll probably find me.
Love it. Well, I'm glad I was able to knock your first podcast down.
Yeah. First podcast down.
I was looking to do some research on you for this. I was like, I don't think he's ever done one. Got to look. That's usually where I find my stuff at, but you hadn't had one. But
it's like, shit, this is hard now.
I was able to. I'm a damn detective at this point. You about got to be to do this. Well, brother, hey, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But knock the dang thing over.
We're going to hop up here in a second.
All right.
Thank y'all so much as always. I appreciate all of you. Over and out.
See ya.